Good morning and welcome to ComfortTV.channel news. In this morning's news package, Governor Otti inaugurates Government College Educational Development members. Nigerian governor gives police officer 3-bedroom flat and a car for rejecting $17,000 from kidnapper. APC gets new national chairman. Federal government sets up 2025 youth CANFAB technical committees. Ukrainian president approves new draft law on anti-corruption bodies. To bring you details of these and other stories, I am Ogechi Ikechukwu. The news and details. The governor, Dr. Allex Otti, has inaugurated secretaries and membership of 6 boards to drive reforms and accelerate development across critical sectors of the state. The boards are Umuahia Capital Development Authority, UCDA, Greater Aba Development Authority, GADA, Abia State Medicine and Commodities Management, Abia State SME Microfinance Bank Limited, Abia State Homeland Security and Abia State Advisory Council on Electricity. Inaugurating the boards at Government House Umuahia, Governor Otti thanked the chairman, secretaries, and members of the boards, especially non-Abians amongst them, for accepting to bring their wealth of experience in advancing the development trajectory of the state. Governor Otti said that those appointed into boards were chosen based on their track record of service, merit, and competence, describing them as people of pedigree and proven records of service. The governor, while citing the appointment of an Edo-born, Mr. Benson Ojikere, as a state head of service, as a testament that his administration places inclusiveness and merit as priority to his development agenda, adding that he is confident in the ability of the newly inaugurated board members to deliver. He described electricity as critical to the development of the state, pointing out that the signing into law of the Abia Electricity Act has given the state impetus to generate, distribute, transmit, and regulate electricity within the state. The state chief executive announced that in the next few months, the state government will be concluding transaction with EEDC, where the remaining 8 local government areas of the state, including Umuahia and its environs, will be pulled out of EEDC to an island powered by geometric power and renewable energy sources. Responding on behalf of members of the various boards, the Commissioner for Power and Public Utilities, Mr. Ikechukwu Monday, expressed gratitude to the governor for the opportunity to serve, describing the assignment as a privilege. The House of Assembly Joint Committee on Environment, Health, Trade and Commerce has invited some ministries, departments, and agencies to a public hearing on HAB 31, a law to establish the Abia State Polluter Pays principle and extended producer responsibility for the management of non-biodegradable packaging materials and other matters today. A release endorsed by the committee chairman, Nwoke Mba, puts the venue on the assembly complex while time is 10 o'clock in the morning. The release names those invited to include commissioners for environment, health, trade and commerce, as well as the general manager, ASEPA. The rest are the executives of market associations in Umuahia, Aba, and Ohafia, the executives of transport unions in Umuahia, Aba, and Ohafia, the union leaders of sachet water factories in Umuahia, Aba, and Ohafia, small and medium enterprises and non-governmental organizations, and other interested Abians. According to the release, all memoranda are expected to be submitted to the Secretary on or before today. For business and economy news, our correspondent reports that Nigeria ranks 4th as South Africa's startup funding in mid-year 2025, introducing $344 million, the best half year since 2023, overtaking Egypt and Kenya. The report has it that the data compiled by Africa the Big Deal represents 24% of the $1.4 billion raised in the since months, adding that South Africa not only led the total funding raise, but also hosted the highest number of startup risings, at least $1 million. Meanwhile, business leaders in Nigeria have welcomed the newly enacted tax laws as breakthrough and could stimulate economic growth, streamline compliance, and unlock productivity across sectors. The reforms, signed into law by President Bola Tinubu in June and effective July 2026, aim to create a more business-friendly environment. The key highlights of the tax reforms include small business support, progressive tax structure, VAT adjustments, consolidation of tax laws, while its benefits include increased investment, job creation, and economic diversification. Nigerian governor gives police officer 3-bedroom flats and a car for rejecting $17,000 from kidnapper. Mr. Sentom Obi, the police who rejected $17 from a suspected kidnapper, has been rewarded for his outstanding show of dignity in the course of his job in Bayelsa State. The governor of Bayelsa, Duyo Diri, rewarded him with a 3-bedroom flat, a car, and at the same time recommended him to the Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Egbotukun for promotion.
Today, we are celebrating SP's becoming in these days of money ruling the world. At the time he rejected $17,000, he did not even have $500 in his pocket. To be very tempting, because he knows that a good name is better than riches. He rejected the money that he does not have, and today he has a good name.
This is even as the kidnapped suspect has been arrested. Obi, according to Diri, rejected the bribe from a suspect reportedly involved in the abduction of a chief judge of the state, Ebierin Omukoro, on June 21. During the state exclusive council meeting in Yenagoa on Wednesday, Diri announced that security agencies had arrested the gang involved, except their leader, who is still at large. Bayelsa has zero tolerance for crime and criminality. We have greatly improved our crime fighting capacity through technology. We summoned security agencies, gave them the necessary logistics, and they were able to rescue the judge unhurt. Everyone involved in the abduction has been picked up except one, the governor said. Continuing, the governor, who described Obi as a shining example of integrity, stressed that his action had, no doubt, brought dignity to the Nigerian police and pride to Bayelsa State. The Bauchi State Teachers Service Commission has approved the immediate removal of the principal of Government Day Secondary School, Kifi, Malam Musa Ahmed Ningi, over gross misconduct. Similarly, the commission removed a senior teacher in the school, Malam Adamu Shehu, who was found guilty of conniving with the principal to illegally sell some government properties belonging to the school. According to the commission, the items sold include 32 scrap student beds, 9 jumbo aluminium cooking pots, and unspecified number of roofing zinc. A statement signed by the overseeing permanent secretary of the commission, Garba Mohammed Bashir, said a 4-man investigation committee of the commission found the two officers guilty of the allegations. As part of the disciplinary action, the commission approved the demotion of the two officers by 1 grade and ordered their transfer to different schools. The commission, through a statement sent to journalists in Bauchi on Thursday by its information officer, Dahiru Adamu, said both officers will refund the sum of 597,000 naira, the estimated value of the sold items. In addition, the principal is required to refund the sum of 72,000 naira to settle the allowance of casual workers of the school he owed. The commissioner also assured that it will work in collaboration with the security agencies to recover the stolen items and ensure accountability. A former Senate Minority Leader, Senator Enyinaya Baribe, has described the threat and restriction of movement imposed on the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, by the governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, as a direct challenge to Nigerians' unity and a brazen attack on the nation's constitution. The lawmaker, who is also the chairman of the Southeast Senate Caucus, warned that the governor of Edo State lacks the constitutional authority to infringe upon any citizen's rights and may, by doing so, have recklessly triggered a divisive trajectory that could harm Nigerians' democratic process. In a statement issued to journalists yesterday in Abuja by his media advisor, Uchenna Awom, Abaribe called for caution and emphasized that Nigeria remains a constitutional democracy where the rights of all citizens are guaranteed. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has reportedly shut down a warehouse in Kano after finding a large amount of dangerous chemicals that can be used to make explosives. NAFDAC officials found the warehouse on Wednesday in the Kwakwachi area of Faje local government following a tip-off and inspection by NAFDAC enforcement officials. It contains 60,000 liters of sulfuric acid and 28,560 liters of nitric acid, along with 330 empty jerry cans. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, who was represented by Dr. Martins Iluyomade, described the find as mind-boggling and said this was one of the largest illegal chemical finds the agency has ever seen. What we have seen here is mind-boggling. I don't think I have ever seen this quantity of concentrated nitric and sulfuric acid together in one place like this before, Adeyeye said. Adeyeye said the owner is not registered. Adeyeye said the owner is not a registered chemical seller and did not have the required permits from the National Security Advisor. The owner is not listed as a chemical marketer. We keep a database to monitor the importation, use and disposal of such chemicals. These acids are controlled chemicals that are not to be handled by just anybody. Importing such chemicals requires clearance from the National Security Advisor and permits, none of which the owner possessed. The federal government has set up the state technical committees for the upcoming National Youth Conference 2025, a nationwide initiative designed to increase youth involvement in national dialogue. The Minister of Youth Development, Mr. Ayodele Olawande, disclosed this to newsmen in Abuja during a virtual inauguration ceremony. Mr. Olawande said the Youth confab is not just another gathering, but the activation of a key operational mechanism that reaffirms collective belief in youth leadership and inclusive governance. He noted that young Nigerians are full of ideas and passion for national development. Their voices have long gone unheard, adding that the Youth Confab 2025 will change all that. Ukrainian President Mr. Volodymyr Zelensky says he has approved the text of a draft law guaranteeing the freedom of two anti-corruption bodies in Ukraine. Reports says days after nationwide protests broke out over changes curbing their independence. President Zelensky says the new bill was intended to safeguard the independence of Ukraine's National Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office and to protect them from Russian influence. The most iconic star in WWE's wrestling, Hulk Hogan, has passed away. Our sports correspondent reports that Hulk Hogan, who died as a result of cardiac arrest in the hospital shortly after the emergency service providers were handling his case at his home in Clearwater, Florida, United States. Until his death, Hogan was the most iconic star in WWE's 5-decade history, known for his distinctive blonde mustache and colorful headbands, as his charisma and theatrics in the ring are credited with helping to transform professional wrestling into a family entertainment sport. Aged 71, Hogan was the main draw for the first ever WrestleMania in 1985. His first WWE World Championship by defending the Iron Sheik in 1984, and went on to win 5 more World Championships, which resulted in his induction into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005 by Sylvester Stallone. That's all we have in our decks today. I am Ogechi Ikechukwu. Thanks for watching.